War Thunder was released in 2013 and is a free-to-play military-based strategy game. This game has cross-platform support and is based on military vehicles from World War II and the Cold War. This game has a huge number of different battlefields and vehicles that the player can choose from, meaning that there's a lot for players to do and it's easy for them to get immersed in the game. It has cross-platform support with PlayStation 4. The game is free to play on Steam and among the most popular free games on the platform. Warframe is a free-to-play sci-fi game that was released in 2013. The game is a third-person co-op game set in a really unique sci-fi world with a large variety of different characters that can be played. The game is really immersive and gives players a ton of things to do and ways to play. Players are free to customize the variety of characters to have abilities that really fit their playstyle and help them to battle their way through enemies and explore the world. DCS World Steam Edition is a free-to-play action game. This game is a simulation game in which the player gets to control a variety of different military tanks, planes, and other vehicles. The game is a sandbox-style game in which the player can really do anything they want and has a heavy focus on simulating the controls of these different vehicles and their onboard weapons. For people that like military-based battle games, this one is a great one to check out. Dota 2 was released in 2013 and remains one of the most popular games on Steam. The game is a MOBA that puts teams of 2 to 5 onto an arena together and tasks them with battling against one another. The game is massive in the world of esports with a lot of people who play the game competitively on teams. The game is completely free to play, but it is supported through in-game purchases like loot boxes and other items that can be purchased, but that does not impact the gameplay. Team Fortress 2 was released in 2007, but that hasn't stopped it from being a hugely popular game. Even though it's been out over a decade, players just can't get enough of this game and the updates that are still being released for it. This game is a popular online multiplayer game that has a ton of different characters, each with their own abilities for players to find one that really fits their playstyle. There are also a lot of game modes that are fun to try out and give the game a unique experience each time a player starts up a new one. Smite is a massively popular free-to-play game on Steam that boasts over 35 million players on the game's description page. The game is really popular for fans of other MOBAs, but this game has some unique features. The characters in the game are various different deities from across a variety of types of mythology. From gods and goddesses to legendary figures from stories told for centuries, there are a ton of characters to choose from and each one has their own unique abilities in battle, so players can find their favorite and battle against other players to become the best. World of Warships was released in 2017 and is a popular game for anyone that is interested in really in-depth, strategic military games. This free-to-play game features over 200 military vessels that players can control, each with its own challenges and benefits. Players are tasked with assembling their own fleet of ships and then heading out into the water to battle for naval control over the open sea. It has varying weather and a ton of locations that make the game more immersive and give the player an extra challenge as they're battling against the enemy. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, also known as CSGO, is a multiplayer shooter game that was released in 2012 and has become incredibly popular around the web since it was first released. This game is expanded on the original Counter-Strike game that was released in 1999 and was already a super popular game on its own. CSGO has multiple different game modes from competitive play to 2v2 team competitions and other unique game modes. This means that there are a lot of ways for players to get together with their friends and compete against one another or together against other teams. Developed by Bungie, Destiny 2 was released in 2019 and is a free-to-play FPS game. This game has a super immersive story with a little bit of a sci-fi twist as players guard their home against threats coming from beyond our solar system. Players can choose from a variety of different classes and can then collect weapons and items that will help to complement their playstyle and make the game even more fun and immersive for them. Although this game is fun in single-player mode, it also has a great multiplayer mode that allows players to enjoy the game with their friends. Path of Exile was released in 2013 and is a free-to-play action RPG game. This game is set in a unique fantasy world and is easy to get into and start playing, but takes a lot of effort and skill to get really good at, something that makes it a ton of fun for players to sink their time into. The game has PvP tournaments in which players can battle against others and has a ton of missions and ways for players to level up and customize their own characters to fit the way they prefer to play the game.